old mining town hung thick and still, a suffocating blanket woven from dust, and a silence that felt too heavy to be natural. My grandfather, a man whose face was a roadmap of hard living, had inherited the dilapidated Blackwood mine from a distant, forgotten relative. He was convinced it held more than just forgotten ore. He spoke of a spectral guardian, a creature of shadow and whispers. I, a city boy with more skepticism than sense, had agreed to help him inventory the remaining equipment. The descent into the mine was a plunge into primal darkness. My flashlight beam cut a shaky path through the oppressive gloom, illuminating dripping, moss-covered rock faces and rusted relics of a bygone era. The air grew colder, carrying a faint, metallic tang that prickled the back of my throat. Grandfather, unnervingly calm, led the way, his lantern casting long, dancing shadows that seemed to writhe with a life of their own. We reached a large cavern, its ceiling lost in the inky blackness above. Scattered about were old pickaxes, broken carts, and what looked like the remains of a makeshift campsite. He likes this place, Grandfather murmured, his voice barely a whisper. The old ones, they say he was a miner, trapped by a cave-in. But not just any miner. As he spoke, a low, guttural scraping echoed from the depths of the cavern. My heart hammered against my ribs. It sounded like stone dragging on stone, but with an unnatural rhythm. The scraping stopped, replaced by a sound that was even more unsettling, a wet, clicking noise, like chitin on rock. My flashlight beam swept frantically across the darkness. Nothing. Then, a faint, phosphorescent glow flickered at the edge of my vision. It was small at first, a mere ember, but it grew, coalescing into a distorted, humanoid shape. It was impossibly thin, its limbs elongated and skeletal, as if stretched on a rack. Its skin, if it was skin, seemed to absorb what little light there was, appearing as a shifting, abyssal black. But the most horrifying feature was its head. It wasn't a head in the human sense. It was a cluster of overlapping, obsidian-like plates, constantly shifting and rearranging themselves. From the gaps, rows of tiny, needle-sharp teeth were visible, clicking and chattering with an unholy cadence. Where eyes should have been, there were only hollow sockets, from which a faint, sickly green light pulsed. It moved with an unnerving fluidity, a disjointed, insectal gait. It didn't walk, it scuttled, its long, spindly limbs propelling it forward with terrifying speed. The clicking intensified, a sonic assault that made my teeth ache. I stumbled back, tripping over a discarded shovel, my flashlight clattering across the damp floor. Grandfather stood his ground, his face a mask of grim determination. He raised his lantern, its weak glow seeming to push back against the creature's oppressive darkness. "You've shown yourself," he rasped. "You won't have this place." The creature paused, its plate-like head tilting, the clicking momentarily subsiding. It seemed to be studying us, a predator assessing its prey. Then, with a sudden, horrifying shriek that ripped through the silence, it lunged. It moved faster than anything I had ever seen, a blur of black against the dim cavern. I scrambled to my feet, adrenaline surging through me, and followed Grandfather as we bolted back towards the mine entrance, the sound of its unnatural scrabbling echoing our desperate retreat. We didn't stop running until we burst back into the blessedly bright, albeit dusty, sunlight, leaving the Blackwood mine and its horrifying inhabitant to its eternal, silent watch.